The Suzuki DR-Z4S has big shoes to fill. Essentially, it's the next generation of the popular DRZ400, a bike that's amassed a cult-like following despite being virtually unchanged over the past 20 years. The new 4S is Suzuki's latest dual sport development, which features a number of thoughtful upgrades when compared to the previous DRZ. A new fuel-injected 398cc single-cylinder engine brings the bike into the modern era, with 3 riding modes and 4 levels of traction control. The bike rides on a twin-spar steel frame with an aluminum subframe and fully adjustable KYB suspension. A 21-inch front wheel and an 18-inch rear wheel are wrapped in DRZ dual-purpose tires for traction in dual sport conditions. Anti-lock brakes come standard and allow the rider to turn the system on or off for both wheels depending on their preference. LED lights and an LCD display are other modern features for the new Suzuki. Further specs include a 36.2-inch seat height, 11.8 inches of ground clearance, 11.5 inches of suspension travel, and a 2.3-gallon fuel tank. The 4S features a curb weight of 333 pounds and is offered in 2 colors, as well as still having a supermoto option. There are a number of differences between the 4S and the 400 predecessor. The overall wheelbase and ground clearance are nearly identical, but the new bike is about half an inch lower in terms of overall seat height. The 4S is also 16 pounds heavier than the older 400. At $8,999, the 4S adds in $1,800 as price increase over the 400. This is obviously a big change, but Suzuki tells us that difference in price mainly comes from modern upgrades like the aforementioned fuel injection system, LED lights, fully adjustable suspension, and more. Our editor-in-chief, Kit Palmer, went to Suzuki's global press launch in Portland, Oregon to get a full first-ride review on Suzuki's latest dual sport development. Enjoy!
Woo! All right, that was a ton of fun. We just finished up our second day riding the DR-Z4S. We're up here in Oregon, and like I said, we just finished 2 days. Today was very much more technical. It was pretty much all single track today with a little bit of fire road, but mostly single track. And man, it's a really good bike. It was pretty difficult, technical, a lot of rocks, and really dry and slippery. It's kind of like riding on marbles all day, but the bike did really well. If I had any trouble, it was all my fault, but the bike itself was really, really good. Overall, it hasn't changed much, or my opinion hasn't changed much since yesterday and the other times I rode the bike. Again, I think the motor is what impresses me the most. It has really good power. It has more power than the 400 did. And I mean, not a ton, but it has just better response. Just seems to, just the power rolls on a little bit better, a little more grunt, and it pulls nicely all the way through from top to bottom. So I really like the motor. I really, really like the engine modes. They actually work. The A, B, and C, which is A is aggressive, B is middle, and C is less aggressive. The A mode is nice. The B mode, I actually rode in that a lot. When things were really slick and it was getting technical, maybe going up a hill, the B mode is actually really good because it doesn't, the back end doesn't want to spin as much and has a tendency to, well, it tries to find traction, and it worked well. So I actually rode in B mode quite a bit. C mode is good. It kind of reminds me of the way the stock 400 is. But I don't know. I like the A mode. And the other thing I really liked was the traction control, the G mode, which is gravel mode. That works really well. I'm super surprised at how good that works. A lot of people might think, oh, you don't need that. You don't want that. And maybe even with the engine mode, but you're going to get those anyway, it seems like these days. But I think the whole traction control and the engine modes on the DR, I think it's something that maybe, hey, you didn't think you wanted, but you kind of do. I think you're going to be pretty impressed with it, you know, if you get a chance to ride it and check it out. It's a good thing. I know it's something that you probably didn't want, but you do. It's really good. So I think that impressed me a lot. We had some technical climbs out there, and I preferred, actually, what I really liked riding all day today, I like to be in the aggressive mode with the gravel mode. The combination works really well. You still kind of have that power, but then it grips just a little bit better on that slippery stuff. It doesn't want to like sneak out on you every time you open the throttle. A little more traction and stuff, I'd probably just go with the A mode and leave it in non-traction mode. So that part of it is something I really liked about the bike. Also, I like the suspension. I think the suspension is really good. The forks are you feel like a high performance off-road bike, they're outstanding. The shock's really good. The suspension's well balanced. The bike doesn't tippy-toe or go lean front to back very much. It's very solid, very planted, very balanced motorcycle. So I like the suspension a lot. The comfort, I think the bike's very comfortable. I'm a little on the tall side, about 6'1". I didn't feel like the bike's overly tall. It hasn't lost a lot of seat height, just a little bit. It's still kind of tall. But for me, it was good. I like the seat. The seat's better. Let's see. Oh yeah, you know, a lot of people talk about the transmission. Wish they went to 6-speed. I'm kind of borderline on it. We did ride a little bit on the street, and that was the only time I ever wished, oh yeah, I wish I had one more gear. But when I was on the dirt, I never had that feeling. I never even thought about it. So, you know, if you do a lot of street riding, yeah, you might be disappointed it doesn't have the 6th gear. But if you're mostly, you know, off-road, I don't think you're going to mind. Overall, I do think the DR is kind of like that perfect blend of dual sport. When you think of a dual sport bike, this is the bike. It's almost like 50-50, 50% dirt, 50% street, and it does both sides really well, like above average. So it's kind of what I feel, you know, compared to some of the higher performance dual sport bikes out there from Europe, you know, they're almost like 90% dirt, 10% street, where some bikes are the opposite of that. The DRZ is right in the middle. It's like the perfect dual sport. It's really easy to ride. It's fun to ride. You'll be surprised at how well it does. So anyway, I can't really think of anything I didn't like about it. I mean, the tires, okay, I still think they're good for what they are. But yeah, I would eventually change that, of course. But maybe go with something a little more aggressive for the off-road stuff. But overall, I can't think of much that I didn't like about it. I really can't. And I was just thinking about that when we were coming into the end here and stuff. God, what I don't like about it. I really couldn't think of anything. Everything works well. Switching over the ECU is simple. ABC, no problem. Turning on and off the ABS is a breeze. Every time you kill the engine, you do have to reset the ABS, but the engine mode stays the same. But you do get used to it real quick. It's just a press of the button, no problem. That's about it for now. My first impression of this bike is it's an outstanding motorcycle. It's a great dual sport bike. And so I'm happy with it. I think, yeah, it got a little bit of a price increase, but man, you do get a lot for that price increase. So that's, you know, kind of one way to looking at it. But I think it's a great bike. So glad Suzuki invited us to ride it. We had a wonderful time. They did a great job. They found some really good trails. A lot of it was technical, a little bit more technical, and I think a lot of people will ride this, but it can do it. So anyway, hey, I really appreciate you checking this out. We'll have more videos and more editorial on this bike and down the road. So check out the magazine, our digital magazine, and check out more on our website, cyclenews.com. Really appreciate it. Thanks for checking us out. And thanks, Suzuki, for bringing everybody out here.